Okay, so today we are doing the Beerus God of Destruction Returns deck profile, and here's the backside. Pretty nice reboot leader. Happy that we were able to get this. When this card attacks on the front side, when it attacks a leader card, choose one. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less and KO it, or you can draw a card. And when you have 4 or more energy, which you will pretty quick, or your life is at 4 or less, you can draw a card, choose up to one of your energy, switch it to active, and flip this card over. And then he will become Beerus, God of Destruction Returns. And his permanent, when your opponent's life is at 4 or less, anytime this card would deal damage to your opponent, choose up to one card in your drop area and place it in your energy and rest mode instead. And that's going to be a good energy ramp tool as you go on. People might be trying to bait it, but you do have other energy ramp stuff in here. So when this card attacks, you choose one. Also, the auto, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 3 or less and KO it, or you can draw a card. So on the back side it's 2 or less, you can KO it. On the front side it's 3 or less, and then at 16 energy you win the game. So I don't know if you can see that, but really strong main effect, and you win the game. So yeah, we have energy ramp built out in this deck. Our first card in this though is Bulma God Tempter. This allows you to search out one Whis with an energy cost of 4 or lower from your deck and add it to your hand, and then you shuffle your deck. So very good to search out Whis Destruction's Aid. Hopefully you start the game out with this, but if you don't, you can always draw it, or you can always search it with the Bulma. When you play this card, you draw one card. For 2 blue energy, you can put them in your energy and rest mode. So pretty good for, very specific to this deck, for energy ramping Whis Destruction's Aid. I am only running 3. Wish I had 4, but that's the only card that I think I don't have enough of for this deck. So Whis Destruction's Aid. I would run 4, but hopefully you're able to just start out with it, mill every card until you can find him. So and then if you start off the game with this card, that's alright too. Whis, the Resting Attendant. When you play this card, add 1 card to your energy from the top of your deck. Ideally, you want to start the game with Whis Destruction's Aid, but if you do have this, you can use it pretty soon. Add a card to your energy in active mode. So it's good for getting you to that 16 energy. And then we have more energy ramp cards in here. We have God of the Gods Great Priest. He's a double strike 20k, which is nice. And when you play this card, if your leader card is a god, choose any other number of gods in your battle area and add them to your energy and rest mode. So if you have a couple Whis out there, whatever, on the field, this will turn them into energy. And we also have 1 copy of Majin Defier West Supreme Kai. You can play her for 2 energy, and then you can use her to pay energy costs even if she's in your battle area. So you play her, tap her, use her as energy, 1 energy, and then you can use God of the Gods Grand Priest, get her out of there, put her in your permanent energy. So it's basically a 1 cost energy ramp of 1. So pretty good, get you to that 16 energy. However, it's not purely energy ramp in here. We do have some strength in here too. Before I get to the heavy hitters, we have Whis the Sacred Guard. He has blocker 20k, 4 cost. However, this card cannot be KO'd by your opponent's card skills and does not leave the battle area due to skills. So this is very important, and why we have 4, because I don't know, a lot of people might be familiar with Awe-Inspiring Intimidator SSB Vegito. He's pretty similar to this card. When he's not in the deck, however, he gains barrier, and your opponent can't attack your leader card. So he's pretty good. However, I think it's better to have a blocker to keep certain cards alive. And in addition, if you're going up against a card like Artificial Impact, it can take out this Vegito because the Vegito gains barrier, and this can nuke a card ignoring barrier. However, this Whis the Sacred Guard is a lot better in the situation because his permanent is that he cannot be KO'd by opponent's card skills and does not leave the battle area due to skills. So it's not barrier, it's basically barrier, but it's not. It's a permanent specific, so this can't ignore barrier because there's no barrier on Whis. However, it can't nuke it because this can't leave the card due to skills, but Vegito would lose in that situation. So, however, actually, a card like Topo Mortality Surpassed, if you're playing against a Jiren player, Topo negates card skills and then KOs them, so the Whis would still lose to Topo. However, a card like Artificial Impact, any of the generic barrier removal options would not work against Whis, where they would work against a card like Vegito. And this Vegito was not from the Ultimate Box. It was pulled that one, alternate art. And then 2 more cards that you can search out with the Bulma is Whis the Regulator. You can choose 1 card in your hand, place in the drop area, draw a card. It helps to make sure that you have cards in your drop area for the Beerus effect to get off when you attack. You want to have cards in your drop area with Beerus to make sure that you are able to add them to your energy. And if you don't, then you're swinging, and that's not really helping. So Whis the Regulator in there, and Whis the Sacred Guard. Those are 2 kind of specific tech options that are searchable. And then we're gonna go into, we have more tech later on, but we're gonna go into our heavy hitters next. We have Master Roshi, Maximum Muscle, 6 energy. You're gonna have a lot of energy in this deck, so nothing to worry about. 6 energy, but critical, dual attack, barrier. You can choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, place them at the bottom of their decks when you play this card, and at the end of your turn you draw an extra card. So pretty good. He's in there. You're gonna have enough energy to get him out with the whole energy ramp, so got to take advantage of it. That's why we also have Hit Deadly Vanguard in there. He's only a 3 cost during your opponent's turn, and if the battle card, you counterplay, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 5 or less, is returned to its owner's hand instead of being played, then you play this card, and when this card is played, you also get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or less and return to its owner's hand. So it can get rid of 2 cards for 3 energy, pretty strong, that are 5 or less. And as another permanent, can't be returned to your hand by skills, but that doesn't really matter that much. And then next in our game ender setup, we have Agu Virtuous Supremacy. Now this is a searcher for the game enders, but I have him in there because the Bulma is a searcher as well. However, she can only get the Whis cards out for the energy ramp and the specific Whis cards I went over. Sacred Guard with the OP specific barrier type effect, and the one that puts cards in your drop area, the Regulator. But with this card, Agu, he can search out any God card, so that's why we have a lot of God cards in here. You can search with Whis if you want him to. However, I would have him search out God of the Gods, Great Priest, or these cards that we have coming up next, which is Beerus, General of Demolition. This card's triple strike, 25k, and when this card attacks a leader card, your opponent may choose 2 cards from their hand and place them in the drop area. If they don't, you get to choose all of your opponent's battle cards and all of their energy, place them in the drop area. So we have 2 copies of this Beerus. Definitely might want to search this out with the Agu if you don't come across it. But if you get rid of all their energy, the game's pretty much over because you're at least 7 energy plus. So that's going to be a bad time for them when that hits the field. And then next we have Zen-Oh the Plain God. Got the level 2 judge here. Very happy to have this card. And when you play this card, negate all other battle card skills, choose all cards in both players' hands, and return them to their, as well as all their battle cards, return them to their decks. Then you shuffle both decks, and then both players draw 5 cards. So pretty good as you're going on in the game. If you get the God of the Gods off, God of Gods Great Priest, kind of clear your field to your energy, and then next turn you put out the Zen-Oh, you nuke their board, your board's already cleared, and then you draw 5 cards. So if you kind of play around that, make sure you have a low hand count. However, it doesn't have deflect, so if this does get deflected, then that's that. But at least you are able to get that off in certain situations. Draw 5 cards, pretty good, and also level 2. So I had to throw the level 2 judge in the deck just for the swag. And then our last heavy hitter that we have here today is the SCR in disguise, Whis, Judge of the Gods. And this is a quadruple strike, cannot be negated, cannot attack its attack, or you cannot negate its attack or skill, permanent effect. And when you play this card, if your leader card is Beerus, after your current turn ends, take another turn. So we're playing Beerus, God of Destruction returns. We're going to want to take our 2 turns with the Whis card, of course. And energy ramp, is going to be fine. So 12 energy is definitely a game-ending card. Once you get this card off, it's over. It does take a lot of energy to get off, but we got the energy ramp in there. And then we do have this extra spice I added in, Kibito Kai's Attendant. And if you switch this card to rest mode, you get to add 1 card from the battlefield back to your hand, and then you can also nuke a card on your opponent's side of the field that's 3 or less. That second effect isn't really what you're going for. The combo you're going to want to do is to put this Whis out for 12, and then when you play it, you get to take another turn. If your leader card is Beerus, then you're going to swing for the quad strike and do whatever else you want to do, and then you're going to play this Kibito Kai's Attendant. And when you play the Kibito Kai's Attendant, you get to take the Whis back to your hand, and then end your turn, whatever. Remember, you played the Whis last turn, so you get to play him back again, because you get to take another turn because you already played him, and then you play him a second time. But when you play him a second time, you get to take another turn again. So it's essentially 3 turns in a row with this combo. Looks something like bam, swing, bam, return, and then take your next turn, play him again, and then when you play him again, you get to take another turn, swing, take another turn, swing. So it's 3 quadruple strikes with the Whis, and you're gonna be able to do a lot of energy management stuff too. So really good. That's our crown jewel of the deck. You want to get that card out, or honestly, the Beerus General of Demolition will make them make some hard decisions early on. And then for the counters, we have a Dirty Burst. This is good against SCRs. You get to counterplay, draw a card, opponent can't attack with battle cards with energy costs of 7 or more, so it's good SCR defense. They can't attack with energy costs 7 or more for the duration of the turn. Or you can just negate the attack. That's its other effect right there. So 1 cost, SCR shutdown, pretty good. And then we have Mafuba. This helps against SCRs too. 2 costs. I'm sure everyone has seen this card at some point. Negate the attack, place this on top of the attacking card, and at the end of the opponent's next turn, you place this card in the drop area. So you can shut down SCRs for a while because you're playing kind of a long game, but honestly, with the energy ramp, it's not too bad. But yeah, so next we have Dimension Magic. If your leader card is blue, everyone's seen this. Negate the attack, choose 2 your blue energy, switch into active, has the sparking 5, so you can activate it if you're sparking 5. And we have 2 more. Whis' Coercion, negate the attack, choose 1 of your energy, switch to active. These are pretty much blue staples. And then here's the spice negate that I threw in. Internal energy shift. You can negate the attack, then your opponent reveals the top card of their deck. If it's a battle card, choose up to 1 of your battle cards and 1 of your energy, switch into active mode. So the spice with this is if you happen to get a hold of Gowasu, either by searching him or drawing into him, you can look at the top 3 cards from your opponent's deck, put them back in any order. So if you use this, you put their cards back in any order, make sure that second card you put back is a battle card. Then their next turn starts, they draw, let's say they start swinging, whatever, you already know that second card is going to be a battle card. So you can use this internal energy shift with that foresight and know that you're going to get an energy back and be able to when you can switch a battle card back to active mode as well. So it's kind of like just foresight, messing around. You're playing a god deck, might as well be able to do godly shit. So and then we have our rest of our tech. We have 3 Barrier Hope for the invoker type shit. Can deal with the what else, Jiren deck, that little 1-drop, I forgot its name, that it has barrier, it can shut that down, whatever. For 3 energy is a lot, but it can get through barrier cards, so that's why that's in there. And then we have the Ultra Instinct, Goku's Kamehameha, 4 copies. If your leader card is blue, choose up to one of your leader card's battle cards, and it gets plus 15k for the duration of the battle. And if all your energy is blue, which it will be, when you activate this card, you can either draw one card, or if it's your opponent's turn, choose up to one of your blue energy and switch it to active mode. We are running mostly blue cards in here. I think we have just the super combos that aren't blue, which I'll show, or 2 of them aren't blue. So yeah, that's the Goku Kamehameha that helps. Senzu Bean, of course, had to have that in there. Choose one of your cards, gains plus 5k, duration turn. Choose 2 of your energy, switch them back to active. Most people probably run into Senzu Bean, blue staple. And then for the super combos, so the only 2 non-blue cards in this deck are Elegant Assistant Heles, and we also have the 2 Zen-Oh Edge of Space for our other 2 super combos. So with Heles, it's basically like the Paragus super combo that was like $30 a while ago or whatever. You discard a card from your hand, you draw 2, and so basically it's gonna help get your Beerus effect going off, because you're gonna need to have cards in the drop area to add to your energy when you swing with Beerus, and so this is gonna help you get there. And then this Zen-Oh Edge of Space allows you to take 1 card from your energy and then add a card from your hand to your energy. So it's basically going to make sure that you're able to get access to the cards that you put in your energy early on. Maybe you got a Whis chilling in there or something. It'll allow you to get it back, and if you happen to play the Zen-Oh, you can draw a card. And so if you're like gonna swing, you can put him down, swing with a different card, then combo him for maximum utility, and make sure that you're able to get what you need from your energy back to your hand. And then we have 2, this is a little more spice in there. When you combo with this card, choose up to 1 card in your opponent's combo area, return it to its hand. This is good for anti-rival, or if you just want to get 15k value, you can return a super combo to their hand if you need to, or whatever you want to do with that. Pretty strong, just for battle to have in there. And then we have the side deck. So in the side deck, I have Double Strike Kai, searchable with the Agu card. If you need to search, Double Strike, go for that with the God of Destruction Beerus energy ramp. And then I have 3 Gowasu Zamasu's Master. So this is good for decks that like to play in their graveyard. Jiren it'd be good against Jiren, something like that, or Cell. Choose 1 battle card in your opponent's drop area, turn it to your opponent's deck. So pretty good, just for making sure stuff's out of the drop area. That's why it's in the side deck, because it's specific for that. But yeah, it's pretty much what it is for. You don't really want to use its first effect because you want cards in your drop area, but it's good for certain things, and it's free because when you combo with the cards, so you don't have to play him or anything like that. The effect goes off when you combo with him. And other side deck, we have King Yemma, pretty common side deck card for blue. When you play this card, you may choose 2 non-black battle cards from your opponent's drop area, place them at the bottom of your opponent's deck. So this would be good for, you know, Jiren matchups, stuff like that, specific. And if you do, you draw a card with this if you use that effect. Then we have Isekai Keeping Watch. This is more anti-arrival. When you play this card, draw 1 card during your turn. When your opponent plays a battle card, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, places it at the bottom of your deck, of their deck. So, you know, if you draw this card, it's good. If you're playing against something like the rival Broly's or whatever other rival you run into, this might be good. If you know that they're going to try to get it. So definitely something I'd save for game 2, but pretty good nonetheless. And then this is, you know, Supreme Kai Time Disruptor, got card searchable. Play this card, and battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less cannot attack until the start of your opponent's next turn. So, you know, can be good against people that are trying to go wide against you with all the little 1-drops or skillless, anything like that. It helps shut it down. You get to draw a card when you play her, so pretty good. 2 copies of that. And then we have, if you do happen to run into Android 21, we got the Supreme Technique Son Gohan. Choose 1 clone token from your opponent's battle area, remove it from the game. This card gains plus 10k power and critical. Just 1 in there, because not a lot of people still run Android 21, but if you do happen to run into it, you definitely need this so you don't get messed up. And then this deck doesn't have any unison in it, but I don't think it really needs to. If you do want to add some stuff in there, you can. I would add in like Zen-Oh. I only have 1 of these, so that's why it's not in there. But Zen-Oh Cosmic Unison would be good in this deck, or the Gotenks Unison would be good, just for energy ramping, and this card nukes the field, so pretty good. Or not nukes the field, nukes 2 cards, ignoring barrier, so more removal. But I don't have that. But this card helps when your enemy's doing unison, because a lot of decks will have that now. And this allows you to choose 1 of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it, or you can choose a battle card, opponent's battle card with energy cost of 3 or less, and return to its owner's hand and draw a card. So I would say, you know, you're going to be running into a lot of unison, you're going to have a lot of energy, so I think Absolute Confidence definitely would be something to side in against someone that's, you know, wrecking you with unison. I would almost put it in the main deck, but I decided not to. So yeah, that's the side deck. You know, again, if you do have more of these unisons and you want to throw them in there, you could throw a Final Hope Slash in there too. These are only 3 copies that I have of each of them, so that's pretty much it. For any other additions I would do if I had the cards. But yeah, that's got a Destruction Beerus deck profile. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe, and if you do build this deck, let me know in the comments. So yeah, that's pretty much it.